books are blocked off so we don't have any fur kids joining us this morning. I know they provide entertainment, don't they? All right, this morning we're going to do one that we did yesterday with Bernie himself in our teacher training, and it's for the spine, so you should get a nice elongation feeling by the end of this class, and it's a gentle one, so it's available for everyone. So come to a seated position. We're going to sit to start today. Just comfortable, one foot in front of the other, maybe sitting on a little flat cushion or little folded up quilt. Take you through a little bit different of a meditation too that he did for us. So just snuggling in, as he says, I like to say, wiggle your sit bones and feel that grounding sensation. Hands, as I always say, on your thighs, palms up or down. In your lap is fine as well. Whatever lets your collarbones smile, that comes from my first Yin teacher. Tuck your chin slightly, lengthening the back of the neck. And just letting the eyes fall softly shut. Settling into your room, onto your mat. Just let go of your morning thus far. Let go of today, whatever is in store, on the list, things to do. Let go of the anxieties that are quite often around us these days. Just letting them ebb, flow away. Setting aside this 1 hour just for you, your body, but also your mind and your spirit. Become aware of the earth beneath you. Feel solid. Feel grounded. Sense that earth's energy. Become aware of the space above you. Sitting tall, feeling that uplifting energy, yet being relaxed as well. Soften your belly, relax your shoulders, loosen your jaw, let your tongue float in your mouth, the tip of the tongue behind the front teeth, just loose. Be aware of the space that's all around you. Feel the temperature of the air against your skin. The touch of your clothing on your skin. Now bring your awareness to your breath. Just allowing it to come and go softly and freely. When your mind wanders, as it will, just bring it back. Excuse me, bring it back to your breath. Just letting this breath be regular, not forced, flowing in, flowing out, just like waves coming in to the shore and receding. Surf that wave of your breath. Remember, there may be natural pauses between your inhalations and your exhalations. In those pauses is the deepest stillness. The most important part of any style of yoga is your breath. It's your guide. If it becomes ragged, you know you need to back off or modify. And it also anchors your mind inside your body. The more we practice with attention and awareness, the better the benefits of this practice. Now blink your eyes open and closed a few times. Lift your knees, straightening them out. Give them a little bounce. So a little more pauses of silence in there. Just kind of nice. Nice to do some different things. A little bit of me still in there, as you notice. I'm going to start off with, as we often do, with butterfly. Lovely, gentle decompression of the low back. So bring your foot soles together. Let the knees open. Remember, you can support under your knee if you need to with a block. Or if you have, the other thing is you can put a blanket or a quilt under a knee if you need. Or another thing that he is a big proponent of, which I knew from before, is sitting on the edge of something. So a little cushion, folded up quilt, and it's just on the edge of it. Slight lift and a tilt forward of your pelvis. Take an inhale, and then we're going to, on the exhale, just lean forward. Allow your back to round if it's okay for your low back. Get a nice little bit longer of a line there then if you do that. If there's any disc issues that you shouldn't be rounding, then just keep your tummy pulled in to help protect that low back and lean from the hips with a flat back. So you don't have to let this rounding happen. You can keep that flat back and just lean there. Block can be nice inside. Maybe you lean forward on your arms or the elbows and rest your head. Maybe at one point you turn the block over a little bit lower. If you're feeling like you can come a little bit further forward, as long as you're not pulling, you're just leaning into that tugging sensation. You can sit on your feet. Maybe your head rests on the block if you like. Let your arms be where they just naturally can relax inside or outside of your legs. And remember, it's a diamond shape, so don't have your feet in close. Have them away from the groin, so you have this elongation here. Should be feeling this lovely tugging along the inside line of the leg into the groin, and then in the low back too. Remember the 3 tattvas or principles of yin? And the first one is what I mentioned already, finding that tugging sensation, that place of discomfort, but it's manageable, comfortable discomfort. Not too happy there, but a place where you can hang out for a few minutes. Of course, if there's any kind of pain, then you're not going to stay there. So for me, I'm switching because the ankle bones pressing into the hard wood of the floor is not comfortable. And then round, find your edge. The second thing you do once you're at that edge that we play with is find stillness. Be still. Don't back away from those strong sensations unless there's pain. So you have to decide what's pain and what's discomfort, finding the difference between the two. Pain is sharp or stabbing, throbbing, burning. You never stay with anything like that. But a deep tugging sensation that you could kind of groan, that's where we want to stay. We don't fidget, we don't look around, we don't get up in the middle of the pose and go get a drink of water. The other part of the stillness is within. So noticing when maybe you can go a little deeper. Noticing if maybe you're gritting your teeth. Or maybe your shoulders have tightened up. Maybe you can soften them on an exhale. And then sometimes you're invited to go a little deeper. You've lost that tugging. So let gravity pull you maybe to your next edge. Yin is surrendering, accepting. Breathing that yogic breath in and out rhythmically. We hold, the third tattva is holding for time. For minutes with our muscles soft. Because we're targeting connective tissues, fascia in Yin. And fascia is all through the body. On your next inhale, you're going to slowly uncurl. Went about 30 seconds over there. It just feels good sometimes, these Yin poses. Lean back on your hands. Take a breath or two. When you're ready, set your foot soles down about the width of your mat. Just be still. Very important to come out slowly. I found yesterday even that I was coming out faster than a real Yinster. Very, very slowly. Enjoy those coming out. That's the best part of Yin, you find. And then we're going to probably want to swivel sideways for this next one. Dragonfly, same thing. The elevation too of the hips is good for if you have sciatica. So you'll want to sit on the edge of something just so that you're almost rocking off. So you've got that slight lift and tilt forward. Open the legs as wide as they'll go. I know I can't get back as far as I can downstairs, so maybe I can back up a little bit more. There. Again, you can use blocks under your knees if it's having them straight is bothersome. A cushion can be great too, so remember you don't have to have your legs flat or straight. Block, again, just like butterfly, can be great in the center as well, as we did before, leaning forward. So same thing, we're going to go right down the center and lean. Same thing with your back. Keep your tummy pulled in, lean with a flat back, or if it's okay for the low back, get a nice tug there and lean with a round back. Block can be for your head again. Maybe it's for your arms. Maybe let your head rest on your arms as well. Remember the different sides of the block as well. And again, your arms can be in front of you if you like, or you can move them towards your feet. Sometimes that feels nice across the shoulders. Remember, mix it up. Don't always stay with the same thing. So maybe you never ever have tried opening your arms if you rest your head on something. Maybe you've never tried resting your head on something. Maybe that's just not going to happen in your life as well. Maybe there's, when you lean forward, that's as much as you can do. And that's just because of your makeup, tight hamstrings perhaps, the tilt of your pelvis, that all that physiological stuff that I've talked about before, and he's mentioning as well, the way the bones are into your pelvic socket, angles of them determines a lot of this. So yes, you can work with fascia, ligaments, lengthening them, targeting them with these steady deep tugs. You can work with joint capsules by putting the pressure in there to help work within them. But the bone is the bone, and when a bone hits a bone, it's painful and you don't go any further. You never will. You don't want to. So for a lot of people, this is their forward bend. And maybe this is where you're starting. And maybe today you were outside a lot, maybe on the weekend or whatever, and in the garden, and the back's a little creaky this morning, so this is as much as you're going to do today, and you can get a nice good tug this way. Remember, if you're feeling it, you're doing it. And you do not want the feelings to be sensational. You want sensation. And there's always something to work on. As I've said before, flexibility comes fairly naturally to me, but I need to work on strength. And there's usually more of one than the other. People that are not very flexible tend to be stronger than people who are. And yoga looks for that balancing. So we have balance physically, but internally. Steady breathing. On your next inhale, slowly come back up. Exhale when you get there. Lean back on your hands. Leave your legs where they are. That just feels fabulous to let the hips release and the low back as well. And then you might like to pull your legs in and do some windshield wipers. We often feel like we need an internal rotation after that external abduction that we've been doing, not so much external rotation, but the pull through the groins. So take your time here. Maybe it's straightening and massaging the knees and bouncing. And sometimes he says too, you just might want to feel like you need to lie down between poses. So feel free to take a little lying down. All right, so that's 2 forward bends we've done. We're going to swing around and now come onto our tummies and do back bends. So flexion of the spine we've done. Now we're going to extend the spine. So we will start off moving right into Sphinx pose. So get your elbows on here. Back up a little bit. There we go. All right, so tops of the feet are just relaxing onto your mat, and you have your shoulders over top of your elbows, so get that nice alignment there. Hands, remember there's 3 possibilities here, and you can have them parallel with the side edges of your mat, or clasp them in prayer as Sarah Powers does. He even has, back up again a little bit, I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to get that phone a little further away. He even says you can clasp like so, and then you've got that triangle shape, or clasp opposite elbows, whatever you like. And this was totally new for me, because I've always learned that you keep your spine in a nice string of pearls. Well, he said if it feels good to let the head go, then let the head go. So let's see if you like to try that this morning. And remember, I always have been told too to give the other option is, and for people that have issues in the neck and that coming up so high is not good, there's that little baby cobra pose too, where you keep your elbows, arms tucked in by your ribs and elbows up. So if you're finding that Sphinx is a little bit too much, first thing, then do that. Close your eyes. Breathing in, breathing out. Move the phone back a little bit. There. Deborah's here too, I see when I did that. All right, there we go, that's a little better. Soften your bum, relax your legs. We're here for 3 minutes. We're just about at the halfway mark. Remember, you can enhance the pose with your breath, breathing up your spine, exhaling down your spine. And thinking about that arc that's happening there in the lumbar spine, feeling that pressure there. Thinking about the spine processes, those bumps that they're getting compressed in the back, and the roundness of the bone in the front is getting pulled apart. Now for this last minute, if you feel like you can take it deeper, he says you can do a couple of things. You can, if you've got your quilt handy, you can roll it under, put it maybe under your belly. A bolster's great for that. Don't know too many of us that have those at home, but feel free if you do. You can put it under your forearms and that'll lift you up a little bit more. Or a block. He showed us putting your arms up on the block. You can lift your legs, bend them at the knees, so the feet are up and in the air. At this point, if you feel, that'll also increase the bend. If that makes it too much, then just stay where you were. Now take a deep breath in, and on the exhale come all the way down. Move the block if you're up on it, let your legs come down. Stack your hands your favorite way. Turn your head to one side, whatever way your side your head is on. Pull that same leg up alongside you so you're lying with one bent, one straight. Just being still, let that go. Noticing how you're feeling though. And then let your leg come back on down. And we're going to come up for one more back bend. We did 2 forward bends, so we did 2 backward bends. Start where you left off with the other one. So if you had, like I had done, gone up on a block, then start there. If your legs were bent, then your legs are going to be bent as well. So settling in for the first few breaths there. Feeling that pull, relax your bum, relax your legs. Find your breath, steady breathing in through the nose, back out through the nose. Let your head hang if that feels good, or keep it in line with your spine, looking on the floor in front of you about 1 meter. 3 feet. Now here, if you want to go a little deeper, you can go into seal. So you might want to start with the legs straight. Take the block away, perhaps, or keep it there in case you decide it's too much. And turn your hands out to the side. Thumbs are pointing to the front edge of your mat, fingers to the side of your mat. And you're straightening your arms. You can lock your elbows, use them as posts. And he didn't talk about this, but it's in his book as well as in Sarah Power's book. You can push a little bit into those hands, rising up out of your shoulder girdle. or you can relax down into that shoulder girdle. Each one of those, remember, has subtle differences. And again, try not to get hooked or attached to always doing it one way. So if you always tend to drape down into the shoulders, push up out of them. And this one as well, you can bend the legs, letting the knees, bend them at the knees and let the legs float up in the air. Relax your bum. Relax your legs. If that puts too much pressure in your back, then you have some considerations. You can use those butt and leg muscles a little bit, or you can back off. Maybe you go back to the block or back to Sphinx. Your breath, remember I say, is your guide. So listen to that steady breathing, just like in the beginning. And if you're having trouble, then you know you need to back off. There's no competition in Yin, even when you're in a class with 30. Your eyes are closed, steady breathing. This one is a great one for the urinary bladder meridian line. Flows down the back of our spine on either side and goes internal, surfaces at both the butt cheeks where the hamstring insertion is, and flows down the back of each leg. Sometimes these longer holds might suddenly bring up some anxiety, fear in these back bends. We're almost done. Always come back to your breath too if any of those strong emotions do tend to pop up. Trying to remain calm. Take one last deep breath in, and on the exhale, let those legs come down if they are up. Bring your torso down. Stack your hands with the other hand on top that doesn't feel as natural. Turn your head the opposite direction. Bring that same leg, the opposite leg from before, up alongside you. Puff your low back out with your breath. Just letting that all go. So important to strengthen this low back area whenever we can, and those back bends are really, really beneficial on many levels. So coming slowly back out, let your leg come down, push up onto all fours. Here sometimes it's nice to do those cat-cow stretches. You don't have to be too intense, so tuck your tailbone, arch your back, drop your head, looking for your belly button, and then go the other way, drop the belly, look up, spread the sit bones. Just doing a couple more. One breath to one movement. So breathe in, breathe out. And once you're done, 2 or 3 of them, end with a flat back. And then we'll come to a seated position. Again, this next one can aggravate sciatica, so you might want to sit your sit bones just on the edge of that quilt. Bring your right leg in, your foot's by your heel, and then bring that left leg on top. One thing he says too is lift, wiggle, get those knees stacked. Now, if that isn't happening, or if you do this, but there's a fairly good gap, put a block between them. Maybe you just need a cushion, something softer. If this isn't going to happen with the bottom leg, lean back and straighten out that bottom leg. And it's interesting, he says exactly what I always do. It's not a lesser of a pose at all, an easier pose. In fact, you're getting an extra tug because you're getting the hamstring on the back of here. So that's another one. Don't always be attached to doing it with both legs bent. Maybe it's, you feel like, yeah, you could use that hamstring tug this morning, so do the half shoelace. Again, set something in between if there's this gap here just means there's tightness in the hip. No twinges, no pain on the knee, so support. Maybe you find it's easier to put something under the thigh, and then this leg can relax. So you want a little bit of tugging sensation in your hip, nothing on the knee. All right, so I'll get set up here. And then this is different, so I'll look at my notes for what we do. Here, we're going to twist to the left. So we've done this before. So your right hand comes just above your knee on your thigh, and use your left hand behind you to straighten your spine. Bring your chin over that shoulder. Look far out of the corner of your left eye. Now relax your shoulders, relax your arms. You're not pulling yourself around. You're finding the yin side of the twist. Soften your belly. Breathing in. Breathing out. Twists are fabulous for your spine. Another thing I always say, this twirl, squeezing on the axis like that, just like a dishcloth, kind of a squeeze. So beneficial. Soften your belly, relax your shoulders. And he didn't have us say this, but I know this is if some of you find that, and I know myself personally, I relax my shoulders more if I let that back arm, instead of being planted behind me, if I wrap it behind my waist and just relax. So feel free to do that if you prefer. Soften your legs. Feel the tugging that's deep into those hip sockets as well. So not only is this one great for the spine with the twirl, but it's a wonderful one for our hips. And my very first teacher of Yin, all those years ago, would say that shoelace and square are the best poses for us Westerners, because we do not live on the floor, so we don't take our hips through these outer and inner rotations that are so necessary for the health of those hips. Now inhale your way back to the center and exhale. And this is where he does a different one than Sarah does. We're going to go to the left with a side bend. So, and he also adds a cool arm thing. So arms go out to a T. Turn your right palm, make sure it's the right one. Yes, the right arm, right, behind your back, behind your shoulder blades. So it's like this behind your back. Okay, so wiggle it in there. And then think of length and going sideways out in a side bend. Here, you can stay like this. You might find that the block is handy here. Rest your forearm on the block. Think about your left ear. If it's okay for your neck, let that left ear fall towards your left shoulder. Get a lovely neck stretch. Relax that arm, that right arm and shoulder as much as you can. Feel the tugging that's happening there. It can be quite nice in the shoulder. Some of you, he calls them track 3 students that are a little bit more advanced, doing Yin for a while. You might be able to get down onto the mat with your arm. But remember, if you're feeling it, you're doing it. And you want sensation. Don't make it sensational. Almost done. One more breath. Now inhale. Slowly come back up, and your head is right on top of your spine. Here's the best part. He says it's like Christmas Eve. Go slow, enjoy it. Undo that arm. Push out. I found this interesting. That's from years ago, against those imaginary walls. And then shake that out. And he has set your right elbow inside your left. Just do a little eagle arms. Fake those palms together. Lift them up just briefly to help release that shoulder, and then let them come down. Good. Lean back, undo your legs, and again, Straightening maybe, massaging those knees, bouncing feels good. Maybe it's windshield wipers that you feel you need. Maybe, as I say, it's a little bit of both that you need. Take your time. Maybe you need to lie down, regroup. All right, and then we'll do that on the other side. So this time right leg's going to go on top, so fold in your left leg if you did both legs folded, and that right leg is now on top. Notice the difference. He says maybe this is the funky knee. For me, this is a little bit not, or maybe it's just a little bit groaning from the other one. And if this is the left knee maybe is the one that's a little bit funky, then maybe this side you have the bottom leg straight. If you did the bottom leg straight on the other side, chances are you may do it on this side as well. Use your supports as you need to block. Have that block now on the right side for when we do the side bend there. All right, so first one we do is that twist. Take your left arm just above that knee on the thigh and use your right hand behind you, straightening your spine, twirling over. Think about your chin, move it over that shoulder, even looking far out of the corner of that right eye, and then soften your eyes, close your eyes. Remember, you're not pushing yourself around, you're relaxing, finding the yin side of the twist. Soften your legs, soften your belly, relax your shoulders. Remember, if you like, if you prefer, you can wrap that back arm now behind you on your waist, just letting it relax. Feel your spine straight and tall, but know that you're getting a nice deep squish there. This is also great for the abdominal organs, the twisting because of the compression that happens there, constricting the blood flow to some degree. And then when we unwind, fresh blood will flow into the abdomen, oxygenated with our yogic breathing. Steady in through the nose, back out through the nose. About 20 more seconds here. 3 more breaths, roughly. Shoelace is a great one for the gallbladder meridian line, the tug that you're feeling on the outer point of your hips and down the sides of your legs. Now inhale your way back to the center. Exhale. Bring your arms out to that T. Turn your left palm to the back of the room and wind that hand behind you, wiggling it up behind the shoulder blades. Good. And then set this right hand down on the block. Think of that lift a little bit and then over you go. Think of your right ear. If it's okay for your neck, let it fall toward your right shoulder. Maybe rest, maybe have your hand on the floor. Maybe rest on the block. Or that's track 2, students, he says. Track 3 can go perhaps onto your mat. Remember, you're working with that edge, and if you can't seem to relax your legs, then stay where you can. Back off a little bit. Listen to your breath again, full in through the nose, back out through the nose. So I'm noticing that this side, I can't seem to, unless I force it, go down onto my mat. So just be there, accepting as part of Yin, enjoying, marinating in the juiciness of the pose as it is. Now slowly come back up, slowly. Heads nicely on top. Enjoy this. It's like 2 Christmas Eves, he said. Do your arm. Groan like an old person. Push out. Engage. This time set your left elbow inside of the right for a brief eagle arms. Fake those palms together. Lift those elbows up. Nice little tug there. And then bring them down. Undo. Shake out. Good. Lean back. Undo your legs. Help them up. Another one here that can be really nice that you might feel you need is that reverse tabletop, lifting up. Set the hips down. Maybe do that a couple times, or maybe just holding and being still and enjoying that flood of warmth. Or maybe it's the windshield wipers. Warmth and coolness, that buzzing, that spearmint feeling that you get. Cheryl had such a good description of that when you come out of these yin poses. Maybe straightening, massaging hips, knees, bouncing. Excellent. And now we'll spend some time on our back doing a little bit more twists. So coming to lie down. Arms are going to come out to a T position. You're going to bring your knees in to your chest. And we drop them over to the right. If it's okay, turn your head and look to the outstretched left hand. If that bothers your neck, then don't turn your head again, just like in that twist that we just did in shoelace. Keep the back of your head on the mat, and no need to do that. If you find that arms out in a T starts to make shoulders tingle, then you can lower the arm on the floor. Or another thing you said that I've never heard that was very interesting is rest your palm on the side of your ribs, and that'll take away that pressure on the shoulder that might be pinching off a nerve from having it out in a T. If it feels good to have your arms in a T, then do that. You can rest your right hand on the side edge of your knee for a little bit of extra weight if you like, as long as you're not pulling. Steady breathing. Twists, as I said, are so beneficial for our spine. At the end of a yoga class, they help to restore the equilibrium between your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system. So you get that all is well feeling. Some of these tricky poses that are pretty intense, like shoelace, especially with those variations today. So this is a nice way of just restoring that balance. If there's a gap between your knees, you can put a block in there so that the top one can relax. If it's beneath your knees, feel free to put a rolled up little quilt there or a yoga mat so they can rest on that. And for those of you that feel like you could use a little bit deeper of a stretch, here you can straighten out the bottom leg. And that is not a deeper stretch, but a deeper twist here by having the bottom leg straight. Still yogic breathing in through the nose, back out through your nose. Feel open heart. Both shoulders are in contact, shoulder blades in contact with your mat. On your Next inhale, come back to the center. Push into your feet, lift your hips into the air, and then set those hips down. If you want, bring your knees into your chest, especially if you started out that way, which most of us, all of us probably did. And then we're going to slowly drop them over to the left this time. Keep both your shoulders as much as you can in contact with your mat. Turn your head if it's okay for your neck. Look to the outstretched right hand this time. Think about your right ear, that it could come onto your mat. And remember, if there's any tingling starts to happen with that arm, you can rest it on your rib cage, your hand, or just simply lowering it if you like. If you feel good with your arms in a T, leave them there. Maybe bring your left hand on top of the knees, just for that extra little bit of weight. Something I didn't say on the other side, but I was reading, and I often do say this in twists. It's another little tip from Sarah Powers as well. But Bernie mentioned it as well yesterday. Where your knees are can affect where the twist is impacting in your spine. So keeping them higher up can impact higher up on your spine. Where you drop them in the middle here, it'll keep it, roughly in the middle of your spine. And if you drop your knees a little lower, it'll impact the lower back and maybe across the hip a little bit more. So, breathing in, breathing out. Twists also happen to release tension in your spine that might have built up over the last hour. It's lovely to have these long twists at the end of the classes. Usually they're only about a minute or so, but today we get 3 full minutes in each one. Quite delicious. Send your spine some gratitude for being healthy. Think of all the things that you can do because of your spine. Driving, not that we can drive a whole lot these days, huh? Walking, running, biking, going up and down stairs, squatting down to get something out of a cupboard, reaching, jumping, all the yard stuff we're doing. And then again, if you did straighten your bottom leg, you can straighten it maybe at this point for a little bit deeper of a twist. Relax those legs. Now on an inhale, bring your knees back to the center slowly. Plant those foot soles, push into them, lift your hips off your mat, realigning your spine. Bring those knees into your chest, wrap your arms around and give yourself a little hug. Rock over that spine, massaging your back, taking your time. I'd like to put the palms on the kneecaps and push those knees a couple of times in nice circles. One way and then go the other way. Just massaging that low to mid back in a nice circular motion. And then when you're ready, letting those legs come down, stretching out, getting ready for final relaxation. Favorite part of Yin. Might want to slip on a hoodie or grab a blanket, quilt to throw over you to cover up and be nice and warm. If you have glasses on, you might like to take them off. And take in a deep breath. it go with a sigh. One more time, breathe in deep. Let go. Let your breath now be whatever it wants to be. Sink into your mat just like you're lying in some warm sand. Tuck your chin in slightly to lengthen the back of the neck. Fill your body here with a warm, healing light of relaxation. Start at your toes. Let this light flow into your legs. This warmth, this healing light of relaxation flows into your pelvis, up into your torso, from your shoulders, relaxing, flows down into your arms, this warm light. And then from your shoulders, feel this light flood into your neck, your head. Relax your face, all those tiny muscles around your eyes, your ears, your nose. Smooth your forehead. Relax your scalp. You're heavy and warm now with this light of relaxation. Float away to a happy place or stay within, watching energies, but whatever you do choose, take rest here for the next minute or two. Letting your breath be whatever it wants to be, and letting your body absorb the benefits of the practice now in Shavasana. Now slowly and gently come back to your room. Hear the sounds around you. Feel the air on your skin. Just gently bringing yourself back, wiggling fingers and toes. Make circles with those wrists and ankles. Turn your head from side to side. And then sweep your arms over your head for a full body stretch. And then those arms come down. Let your legs glide in. Turn over to your left side, pausing there for just a moment. Take time here to notice how you're feeling. Notice the quality of your mind. Know that this is your true nature and you can come back to this feeling anytime. Push into your mat with your right hand and help yourself back up to a cross-legged seat. Hands come together in prayer at your heart, eyes closed. May you be free from fear and harm. May you be content as you are. May you be at peace with what comes. May you be happy. The light within me honors the light within each one of you. Bow forward, sealing your practice now. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on Thursday morning. Bye. Made it before we ran out of time. Where is the end? There it is. Bye, everyone. Have a lovely day.